following, or what could be a good lead funnel or automation strategy to convert more clients. So I truly believe that as a business owner, it's so important for you to really understand there has to be 6 things that needs to be right in your business at all times.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Infinite Icons podcast, where we bring you conversations with entrepreneurs, professionals, and visionaries who actually shape the way we think about business and success. Today, we are joined by Khryzza Kelley, a dynamic entrepreneur who has worked in both product sales and service-based businesses. And she's also helping business owners to scale up their businesses with virtual assistants. So let's find out more from her. And before we begin, please, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, this is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Hello, Khryzza. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jayanti. I am so happy to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me over.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you and learn so much more from you. And of course, every time we meet, there is so much to learn from you. And today it's a perfect day, and it's so beautiful outside. And what a nice day to start off a conversation about products and services. So here we go. So please, would you start by telling us a little bit about your background and the businesses you're involved with?
Yes, I'm Khryzza. I'm born and raised in the Philippines. So if you're watching the video, I'm having the Philippine flag on one ear, and then I have an American flag earring on my other. Basically, paying homage and respect to both countries, both communities that I'm actively supporting. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have 3 businesses. 2 of them are operating globally. One of them is CoWorq. It's an ethical and equitable virtual assistant and consulting company. So we help CEOs, business owners scale with purpose, but by also helping Filipino remote professionals. Because for some of you don't know, we still have a lot of virtual assistants from the Philippines, and not just from the Philippines, but in other countries like India, Pakistan, Mexico, Latin America, who are still getting paid as low as $1 an hour up until today. My second company, it's called Isla Co. It's a fashion for good company. We're helping artisans from my home country, the Philippines, because even though fashion is a billion-dollar global industry, a lot of our artisans who are making those beautiful handmade bags, earrings, all the fashion items are still earning as low as $1 a day. So it's really making sure that when we do business, we do it not just for the good of our clients, for the good of us as business owners, but for the good of our community. So that's really my background, and I'm here in Orange County, Southern California.
Fantastic. That was amazing. So it is evident that you are helping people with, the virtual assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone who is just starting out and trying to figure out their way, what should we know about virtual assistants, and how can we actually make use of that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, because I get this question a lot, virtual assistants are real people. So they're not AI. They are virtual assistants because most of them are from remote countries. For example, my home country, the Philippines, is one of the number one, probably top countries in the world who has a lot of talent, so they can do a lot of things. So we have virtual assistants who can be your social managers, who can be your executive assistant, who can be graphic designers, web designers, video editors. So they are doing jobs virtually, hence the term virtual assistant. But virtual assistant is a generic term. So they are, they can be specialists, whether it's marketing specialists, sales specialists, customer service representatives. Those are the usual roles. But the virtual assistants that we connect our clients with, they are specifically tailored to what our clients need. So for our clients who have been in business for less than 3 years, some of them just started, let's say, the last year, they do a lot in terms of taking things off your plate that shouldn't be there in the first place. So for example, if you're a bakery owner, your zone of genius is baking. So you're not really the expert on marketing, on social media. So the virtual assistant can take that off from your plate. If you are, let's say, a coach, your zone of genius is coaching. I have a client who is a grief coach. So all she really want to do and focus her time on is coaching her clients, designing coaching programs for her clients, strategizing with her clients, and all the rest, social media, marketing, sales, follow-ups, admin, bookkeeping, can be delegated to a virtual assistant. So a lot of them they can do, but you have to know as a business owner first what exactly is the help that you need so you can better leverage and utilize a virtual assistant because they're essentially your employees.
Oh, awesome. All right, all right. Has the AI influenced in you in any ways at all? And these kind of business, I think you can actually leverage a lot from the AI.
Oh, definitely. AI, in a way, not necessarily removed the job of a virtual assistant, but it optimized the job of the virtual assistant. So years ago, we have social media managers. They write captions themselves, they edit reels manually. For example, if you have a 1 hour long podcast, they slice it up manually. But with the help of AI, the jobs of a virtual assistant is now changing for good. So instead of your virtual assistant writing captions or manually, spending hours manually trimming down your podcast to become reels, there's a lot of AI tools that help them right now. So what used to take hours can just take minutes. So your virtual assistant is now not just your manual helper, but they can now be your strategic partner. So instead of just making captions, they can now be your strategic partner in terms of, okay, what could be a great social media strategy to increase your following, or what could be a good lead funnel or automation strategy to convert more clients. So it has basically improved the way the virtual assistants do their job, but for the better.
And you have been on both sides of the spectrum. I mean, you have done your product sales as well as service based. So, from your experience, what has been the biggest takeaway from each one?
They are completely different. It's a different ball game. Service based, whenever you market it, it's for me it's a little harder because it's not like a product. It's not like a handbag that you can show to people that they can touch it, they can see it, they can feel the fabric, they can feel the craftsmanship. In service base you really have to establish trust from the get-go that you are trustworthy as a partner. So in my case, where I own a virtual assistant consulting company, a lot of our clients come to me and they say, you know what, I had a negative experience hiring a virtual assistant before, but I trust you. I trust your team. I trust what you can do. I trust the values that you have and advocacies that you're fighting for. So I'm gonna work with you. But that is a non-negotiable when it comes to service based businesses. You have to show that people can trust you. In product based businesses, it's a very different ballgame, especially I'm in fashion. But I always say that, I'm not in the business of selling bags. I'm in the business of supporting artisans, sharing their stories, and looking for people who resonate with those stories. But you still have the handcrafted, the tangible product, and it's very different. So the way I market our service-based businesses is very different the way I market our product-based businesses. And at the same time, there are strategies that work with service-based businesses that may not work with product-based services, and vice versa. So if you have multiple businesses with multiple type of product, you have to be cautious not to think that, oh, this work for my service base, it could probably work on my product base, because probably not. So you have to make sure that you don't fall under that misconception, because those are two different ball games for sure.
But I really wonder how you can actually balance both the ways. As you said, they are so different. Your audience would be different. Your target market is different, and everything is so unique in itself. And you are actually, sailing both the boats. So wonderful. Kudos to you. What has been, really challenging in that area?
Yeah, I think what made it easy for me is that both of my businesses, they have the same why, which is to me, I look at the purpose of every business is the same. The purpose of every business is the same. It is to make our clients' life better, and it is to make our world better. I said this during that lunch and learn where I was presenting about what I do. to me, if your business does not make your client's life better, does not move our society forward, or does not really make this world a better place for the people who will live here when we're no longer here, then it's not a business, it's exploitation. So the purpose of my two businesses, even though they are in completely different industries, completely different product types, they are the same, which is to reduce exploitation in the industries that I'm in. So for CoWorq, we reduce the exploitation of virtual assistants by making sure that they get paid fairly. They get to have a just and equitable experience as a virtual assistant. For Isla Co, which is a fashion for good company, we reduce the exploitation of artisans because a lot of them, like what I said, despite this industry being so profitable, the people who are making the bags by hand and by foot are actually getting paid very, very low. So to me, it's very easy to connect both because the people that I attract are the people who believes in the same values that I do. Um, I truly believe that as a business owner, it's so important for you to really understand your target market because when you figure out who your target market is, who your community is, you can never say the wrong thing because they truly understand where you're coming from. So I think that's what made it easier, at least for my two companies to take off because we know who are the people we would love to work with and we would love to serve.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah, I know it is definitely, the values and yeah, it is basically the values you build your company on. So that's
Definitely.
amazing. So you are actually dealing with the artisans straight away, right? There is no barrier in between. So if somebody wants to start off a product based through a direct seller or the manufacturer, how should they approach and what are the glitches they need to look out for?
I think it's very important to know if you're going to start a product based business, it's very important to really know the ins and outs of your supply chain. I think for me, that was really the highlight of my business, selling handcrafted bags and earrings and jewelries and home decor from the Philippines because I know my supply chain. And I I make sure that because to me, the values of Isla is really advocating for others, advocating for artisans. So that should be reflected in my supply chain. Who are the people making these bags? Are they getting paid well? Are they being treated well? Do they have ethical and equitable work environments? Are they in the table where decisions about them are being made? I mean, I don't create decisions without consulting my artisans. I mean, when we started the business, when we launched our business last March, for example, we have clients who said, hey, can you make this bigger? Hey, can you make the handle blah, blah, blah? Like, can you tweak this? Can you make this smaller? Whatever. Can we add zippers or pockets or whatever? I always consult my artisans. To me, they're not my suppliers. They are my business partners. And I think it's very important if you want to have a purpose-driven product-based business to own your supply chain, get to know your supply chain, and make sure that whatever values you're saying in your marketing are reflected in your operations. Because I mean, one of the reasons why I opened Isla Co is that when I moved here to the US, when I moved here in the US from the Philippines, I was Googling, okay, I want to support my people. I want to support Filipinos. Where are the handmade bags or earrings? I love fashion. That are made in Southeast Asia or that are made in the Philippines. And I was Googling a lot of brands. I studied different brands because, first of all, I really just want to buy. And then I found this brand. They are selling their purses $200 a purse. And they are claiming that their bags are made by an indigenous tribe in the Philippines. And to me, I know this tribe specifically. My hometown is in the same island where this tribe resides. I'm very familiar with it. My team is very familiar with it. My family is familiar with it. And we did a little bit of research about what really is this tribe. Are they really creating these products? And I realized that if you're charging $200 a purse, why are your artisans still living below the poverty line? Because to me, that's not living your values. You're just using them for cheap labor. And that's exactly what I don't want to do as an entrepreneur, especially if I'm positioning Isla as a fashion brand that has a heart, that has a purpose, and that uplifts communities, not just me and not just my customers.
Awesome, brilliant. So this actually straight away takes us to educating your clients.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, it's a big part when you are trying to build a long-term success. Your clients need to understand your values. So how important do you think it is to educate your clients? And also, when is the best time to start?
Oh gosh, client education is super important. We are now in the age of social media where we consume a lot of information. We get our news on social media. We get our education on social media, really. I mean, those tips, those DIYs, those are really good information. I'm for sure, a lot of us, probably all of us, are listening to a podcast or, watching a show on YouTube or something. But I think if you are an entrepreneur, your primary goal is to really educate our clients. In my first company, CoWorq, one of the things that we really have to educate our clients on is what the heck is a virtual assistant? Like, what
Mm.
can they do? How fast can they do things? What's the cultural differences that they need to be mindful of? What are the what are the ways where we can put our virtual assistants in a position of success, so when they work with our clients, it's a good relationship, it's a sustainable relationship. So client education is really, really important. In my product-based business, which is Isla Co, client education comes from the fact that, hey, you're not paying a TJ Maxx price for a bag because of these reasons. You are paying higher than TJ Maxx but lower than Louis Vuitton because of these reasons. There is justice that has to be made when it comes to creating our products, when it comes to respecting the artisans who made them, when it comes to admiring the craftsmanship. So those little things are also they also need to know. And in fact, when people buy our bags, they always get this small card where they get to know who's the artisan who made your product and what's their story, why are they doing this and all that, because those are the things that helps our clients have a more profound understanding that this bag is not just a bag. This bag is made of story. It's made of sweat, blood, and tears of artisans who made them. And you had the chance to get to know them. And same with the virtual assistants. They're not just doing this because they love being a virtual assistant. They're more than that. Client education is super important in this day and age. And when do you need to start? You need to start as soon as you can, really. And you don't have to be perfect. I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm the type of person that we really need to have the right caption, the right whatever, the right post. But no, I'm trying my best to learn that imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. You always have to move the needle at least a little at a time, but you have to move, because I think I have met a lot of people who has so many good business ideas, but they're not doing anything about it. So those ideas just come to waste, and next thing you know, somebody is executing your idea because you did not execute on it. So just start with any resource that you can. You got to start somewhere.
So true. I know that hindrance, the self-made hindrance, is a huge setback for many of us, actually. And, as you said, it always fascinates me the work that goes behind either a product or a service or building a company. With the person who actually did it knows the kind of efforts and time and patience and so many redos, undos, so many things go behind
Yep.
making something come to fruition. So actually, hats off to those artisans who make those beautiful bags and fans and so many other things. So yeah, kudos to them.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing those beautiful artifacts to
Yeah.
the US. Everybody here could also enjoy them.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. None of these actually matter if you don't have clients.
Yep.
So, what's the best way to land that very first client? How
Ooh.
can you start off?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I remember landing my very first client for my virtual assistant company. It actually was from a Facebook group because we were posting on different Facebook group. It was from a women entrepreneurs group. And at the time, I think we were in the second or third month of operations. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not sure what we're doing wrong. Um, but I think it's very important to listen to your clients or to listen to your customers. So a little bit of backstory here. When I opened our very first virtual assistant company, we looked at our competitors and they were like, oh, they're offering full-time virtual assistants or like these huge monthly packages of 2000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. And when we look at that, we were like, okay, that probably worked for them, so let's try doing that. But then I started to do networking. I started to meet a lot of fellow entrepreneurs, a lot of fellow business owners, and I always hear them ask like, hey, Khryzza, I'm not in a position to hire somebody for 40 hours a week or even 20 hours a week. I'm a small business owner. I just need a virtual assistant who can help me for like 10 hours a week. And I keep hearing that in every networking group that I'm part of, and I made a pivot and I was like, you know what, I am now seeing that this community, which is the small business owners, it is pretty much underserved when it comes to getting virtual assistant help. So we tweaked our pricing, we tweaked our offering, we tweaked our services in a way that it is small business friendly. And when we did that, it opened a lot of opportunities for us. It was a door opening to a lot of clients, specifically small to medium business owners. So if you want to land your very first client, you really have to listen to what the market is telling you, and you need to be flexible enough to say that, oh, I can accommodate that. Oh, that is actually a good idea. And because that really made a difference to us. Because as a business owner, you tend to love your service, your product. You tend to be overprotective of it because that's your baby. But we need to make sure that you help the people that you really want to help. And if the type of help that they need is different from what you're offering, then maybe you can tweak it because that's what they're asking for. And if you can respond to what they're asking for, then that's a business for you. So it's really important to listen to the market, listen to what they're saying.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. Be open and be a little more aware of your environment you are in. So, the business environment, I mean.
Yep. Yeah. Be agile as an entrepreneur.
Got you, got you. So once the business is steady and up, what are some of the practical strategies somebody could think of or execute to stay in business, to be competitive, and also keep up with this very fast-paced world?
Hmm. Oh gosh, in my master class, I talked about this. It's the concept of six rights. There has to be six things that needs to be right in your business at all times, every single day. So first is right people. Do you have the right people with the right skill to get you where you want to go? So for example, for me, when it was my year one of operations, me and my co-founder, we said, we just need an all-around assistant who can help us with a little bit of bookkeeping, a little bit of sales, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of admin, just an all-arounder. But now we're on our year five, and we said, oh, actually, we need a specialist in marketing. We need a specialist in operations. We need an executive assistant that's just purely executive assistant. So your needs change. So look at your business based on, do you have the right people with the right skills that you need right now? Because the people that you probably needed on your first year of operations will definitely not the people that you'll be needing in your 10th year, in your 15th year, in your 20th year, and it's totally fine. Second is the right structure. Do you have the right structure in place for your business? Do you have the right role, the right responsibility? Third is the right process. Do you have the right process so that your business can flow smoothly? A lot of people are talking about AI automations and all that. But if you don't have the basic processes in place, it's impossible for you to automate them. So just go to the basic. Like if a client comes in, from discovery call to onboarding to whatever, like what does that look like before you automate them? Right processes. Fourth is right rewards. I'm an HR professional. Um, before I became an entrepreneur. And I truly, truly believe that if you take care of your people will take care of your business. And that means paying them well, rewarding them, recognizing them. So do you have the right rewards in place so that your people can be energized to push through with your business? The next one is the right resources. Do you have the right resources for you to grow, for you to prosper? We're in the age of AI where every single day we have a new AI tool that's coming out of the market. Tomorrow there's going to be another AI tool. So just be careful and be strategic, because not all resources will be meant for you, will be the right resource for you. So be strategic, be careful about what really are the resources that are applicable for what you need as of the moment. So those are the things that I think at all times we really need to know, like, do we have the right people, the right structure, the right processes, the right rewards, the what do you call it, the right resources, because those will help us continue to navigate our business and get more clients, put your name out there, and retain your clients. Client retention is super, super important.
Got you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's you made it sound so simple and easy, but
Oh, it's
yeah,
not.
I think this is definitely a very good guidance for anybody who's starting off.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and Khryzza, before we actually close, I would love to know your take on purpose over profit. What do you actually think about it, and how can a new to a business can strike a balance with those?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, to me, I think the market is at least for my target markets, for the industries that I'm in. I think consumer preferences are shifting. We are in the age of unprecedented changes. We have a lot of challenges. We have social challenges. We have political challenges. We have technological challenges. And I think people just want to work and do business with people that they respect and that they like, and that they see that the values that they're saying they have, they're embodying it. So I think purpose and profit really has to go hand in hand. Um, y- you know, you can be a Fortune 100 company, you can be a Fortune 500 company, you can be profitable, but I think what really cements your legacy and your sustainability as a business is if you have a really profound purpose in everything that you do. And I'm not just talking about purpose being like a motto or being like a marketing statement. I'm talking about purpose in every step of the way. Purpose in hiring, purpose in developing products, purpose in client acquisition, purpose in retaining employees, training employees, upskilling employees, purpose in training your clients, educating your clients. The purpose has to be ingrained in every step of the way in your business, because that's how you're going to make profit. Um, as what I've said earlier, if you're not making your client's life better, if you're not making this world better, that's not a business, that's exploitation. And a lot of businesses are actually being so exploitative, whether it's exploitative of their clients or exploitative of their supply chain, exploitative of their community. And I think it's time to change that. And like what I said, the market is shifting in the sense that we're really looking for businesses who carries our values, and when we see that, we want to work with them. So be a business owner, be a business who really embodies that value really, really well, so that you attract clients. You don't even have to chase them. So purpose and profit definitely go hand in hand, because if you have a purpose, your profit will come afterwards.
Oh, that was so profound and beautiful. Yeah, it's very hard to say no, especially in the initial stages of business where you hardly come across a very good client or a great opportunity. And later you find out there's something not okay. And you might be thinking, okay, maybe this once, and then get into a wrong step. So it's always better to know your purpose and the values and then decide on the profit. Amazing, amazing. So, Khryzza, where can we get in touch with you? How can we contact you?
Yes, I'm all on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm even on Facebook. I'm a little bit of an old school. I'm still there. But again, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from fellow entrepreneurs. Our website is CoWorq.co for CoWorq, and then of course for Isla, it's called sayhelloisla.co. We'd love to have your support. We're still growing our audience. We're still growing our following in social media. We'd love to reach more people. We'd love to reach more people to share more of our advocacy, to share more of the stories of virtual assistants, of our artisans. They're not just, they're not just numbers to me, they're people. And I think the only way to give justice to what they're doing is really showcase and share what they're doing and do it well. And I hope that, you and of course our listeners here can be part of that journey. So would love to have you, and we'll follow back.
Oh, definitely, definitely. We would love to follow you. And any words of wisdom for our audience today?
Oh gosh. One of the things that I have to learn was that because I am a recovering perfectionist, it is the understanding that you most likely have 90% of what you need to do something. Whether you want to open a business, you probably already have 90% of what you need to know to start a business. Whether you want to scale your business, you probably already know 90% of what you need to know to scale your business. The real catch is just do it. You can learn later. You're going to learn the hard way or the easy way, but definitely you're going to learn. But really, all you just have to do is take action. We have a lot of visionaries. We have a lot of people with great ideas, but they don't execute them. And I think we need more people who's really going to do something if we want to make a change in the industries that we're in, to support the communities that we're part of. So just take action is what I would probably share.
Fantastic. Yeah, don't be afraid to make those mistakes and learn. But of course, the learning is what actually matters. And definitely, we're going to evolve and get ourselves in a better position. Don't be afraid of those disappointments. That's part of the game.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Khryzza. That was so good. And thank you for sharing your journey and insights with us. And I'm sure our listeners are walking away with a lot of valuable inputs from you. Thanks so much. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Jayanti, and thank you, everybody.